Hey, what's up, YouTubers? So, took a couple days off of making videos for you because I wanted to spend time with my son. Him and I went on a camping trip. My wife and I and my daughter, just spending time together. It's just a great thing. And I encourage you guys, if you guys have a family, please put them first. But I wanted to pose this question to you as far as prepping goes. Now, I don't have all the answers. That's not what my question. I'm not going to answer it, but I want you guys to think about this. Is that think ahead 5 years. Okay, think ahead 5 years and what it might look like. We'll talk about that here in a minute with current headlines that we see from not only here in America, but all around the world. But think about 5 years ago. That was what, 2017. Would you have thought that in 2020 the world would have gone through 2+ years of what we had to go through? Probably not. Nobody would have said in 2017, even 2018, hey, this is what's going to happen starting in 2020. Okay, all the things that they put into place during that time, all the things that led up to that. Would you have said that in 2017? Would you have said that's definitely going to happen? No. You would have said, you're out of your mind, get the tinfoil hat off. No, that ain't going to happen. And here we're at today, and we're still talking about possibly even worse things to happen. Now, what can you do to get ready? What can you do to prepare? Like I said in my last video, my goals are not yours, okay? And if you haven't watched that video, I haven't figured out how to link them here or there, or, blah, there they are. I don't know how to do that quite yet, so bear with me, okay? But what I'm going to ask you to do now is, if you want to do this prepping thing together and kind of talk about things, work out some questions and answers and solutions, possible solutions, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. So here's what we know, and everybody who's watching this, you guys have the same tools as I do, okay? And what am I referring to? I'm simply just referring to getting on Google, taking 5-10 minutes, and you can find the same information that's available to me, which is available to you. Now, we know that we are seeing higher prices, not only at the pumps, but in grocery stores when it comes to meat. But there's, again, search for these things. Economic specialists say that the recession that we're currently in, it is possible that we're going to enter a Great Depression. Now, I'm not at the age where I went through the first depression, but some of you might be. We've heard of the fertilizer shortage. Do you realize that without the fertilizer, all of the crops that rely on that, all of the farmers, it could lead to something bad. It can lead to a possible great famine. India, was it India? I think it's India. They are keeping the food and not exporting it. Why? Not because they hate the rest of the world, but because they need to feed their people. They need to take care of their country. We're already seeing food riots, not only in the United States, but in countries all around the world. I think it was Brazil who even has been, in the news concerning the food riots. And, I live down here in the South. It can get kind of rainy here. It can get really wet, but it can also get really dry. Now, in contrast, those places that rely on the rain are in a drought. They, the dust, what are they? I forgot what they called it. Um, doesn't matter. But the ground is so dry. And likewise, some places are so wet that the vehicles or they're just not able to be used because it's so wet. They can't plant because everything will get washed away. So it's either too dry in some spaces and it's too wet in others. What do you think that's going to do to the food, everybody? I don't have the answers. All I know is that some of the smart people, as they say, it says that inflation that we're seeing because of these shortages, inflation is going to be here for a while. It's here to stay, and with these high temperatures going into the summer, places like Texas have already been warning about possible brownouts, possible blackouts because of the power grid. It wasn't that long ago, if you guys remember, that Texas was not prepared when it came to the opposite, freezing. They were out because of frozen lines. They were out because of the power grid. I don't know how unstable or how vulnerable it is, but if we know that this year's cyber attacks are through the roof, it's not going to take much if somebody really wanted to attack our power grid, that they could just do it. What would that do? What would that do? Now, I don't bring these things up to worry you. I want you guys to think about it. Now, right here in my kitchen, I'm here on my screened-in porch that really isn't doing much right now because I'm leaving the doors open because my dogs, but I see the bugs. They're in here flying around, but whatever. But in the inside kitchen area, I have my dehydrator and I have 30 different eggs. I'm dehydrating eggs. Now that's just one thing that you can do. How do you dehydrate eggs? I'll show you sometime, but it's a rather easy process. What was I going to say? I started talking about eggs. If the power goes out, and it will, and I think it will sometime this summer, whether or not you're in those hot spots that like Texas or here in Georgia where it can get pretty warm itself. I'm not talking about those northern places, although you guys have your own things that you guys deal with, whether it be in the summer or the winter. It's just not the same. But here, where we might have those things happen, how are you going to deal with it? Do you have a generator? Do you have another way to produce electricity that you will need to get through that time? Let's say it's out for 10 hours. It might not be a big of a deal for you, but what's it like if it's out for 10 days? Do you have those 3 days of food, water? Do you have the 3-day supply that you need? If that, do you have the three weeks? Do you have the 3 month? I know that it can sound like a daunting level to get to, but I promise you, once you get there, you'll have a system going, and 6 months, 9 months, it's not even going to be an issue to really get there. You just have to do it wisely. I would recommend that you guys take a look for yourself. Don't just take what I'm saying. I'm just some random guy who, again, we're friends. I'm just some random guy on YouTube wanting you to be prepared for whatever happens. Hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully what you have now will be okay, and I hope it is. I really do, because I don't want to see bad things happen again. Look, I'm saying this like I started the video. What would we have said in 2017? Now, I'm going to come back to this video in 5 years, and what's it going to look like after the warnings that I just spoke about What if those happen? What if those happen? Are you going to sit there and say, "Yep, I'm good. I'm prepared for it"? Or can you say, I think I have enough, not only for me and my family, but I have enough to weather the storm to take care of maybe somebody else or help out here. I have means to produce my own energy. I have ways to keep food. I don't know what your situation is. All I know is that you on the other end of this, just like me, I'm a human who loves his family, and I'm sure you do as well, and want to take care of them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be, looking for ways to prepare, to stay active in, building your resources. So, guys, like I said, it doesn't take very long to look online, and in the amount of time that you could have watched this video, you would have a plethora of information on why I feel the way I do. It's not because I just put on a hat and said, "Hey, this is what's going to happen." This is what is out there. And let me just say, I'm not a fan of everything that they put online. If the past 2.5 years have taught me anything, it's to not trust, verify. Don't trust, but verify. Especially the source that it's coming from. That's all I'm going to say. That's a different video, everybody. So let me know in the comments what you're doing. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button wherever it is. All right? Be blessed.